Welcome to Cloud Kingdom in the bottom left corner from Team Evil Genius's raid call. Down 0-1. He's got to make the comeback. Game number 2 win would be a start in the right direction. It is Stephano, the most successful non-Korean in StarCraft 2 history. Even placed 4th at ESWC, still winning money despite him taking a month off from tournaments. He's going to be appearing at Lone Star Clash number 2, which is next week. And the following week at WCS Shanghai for the global finals for the Blizzard World Championship Series. In the top right corner from Canada, also from Team Root Gaming, the blue Protoss is TT1. TT1 did go off the map temporarily before Season 3, where he was in Germany practicing. Then came back strong, had a great Season number 3. Now in Season 4, he was playing Heart of the Swarm, kind of phasing Wings of Liberty out, but then had a huge resurgence of motivation because of the Widowmine. He actually stopped playing Heart of the Swarm.
Thank God.
And then he said, you know what, I got to practice on Wings of Liberty. And he's actually climbed his way back up to the top 10 ladder in North America for Grandmaster.
Wow.
And now he's showing his dividends of practice. He's taking a game off Stephano.
TT1, always one of those competitors that you can't really count out. You know, he's just such an intelligent person. He really is. I mean, TT1 is a very abusive player. He understands the metagame so extensively well, and he tries to take advantage of that as much as possible. And that's what's something that's so cool about him. He actually integrates mind games much more than any other, I shouldn't say any other, but most of the pro players. He has good mechanics, but they could be better still. TT1 is one of the best North Americans in the scene.
Yeah, he's a guy that really likes doing mind game stuff, and he's capable of all kinds of styles. He's capable of playing hyper greedy, like go for a third Nexus really quick. It doesn't even matter what race you are. He's also a guy that can just do straight up Immortal Bust on 2 bases on Cloud Kingdom. So we'll see what his plan of attack is. Meanwhile, Stephano just, avoiding the struggle of the natural expansion. Going to expand to his 3rd. And then eventually take his natural.
And look at how greedy TT1 is being right now. See, this pylon is actually so clever. He keeps it up so he sees how many Zerglings are being produced by Stephano. He kind of assumes that the 3rd base is being made over here. So he says, okay, if I see a lot of Zerglings passing by, the reason why this pylon is over here is because he wants to be able to double gateway block right there. That way, Zerglings have to eat through a lot of HP, and then the Photon Cannon can come up in time. But he sees only 2 Zerglings and says, okay, I don't need to prioritize my cannon. Let me get my gateway and then get my cannon. It's a really, really nice way to get his expansion up safely while still blocking his opponent's 3rd base. I really like what we're seeing.
And TT1 is able to get up a 2nd gateway anyways. Wow, so he's really trying to... Oh, just kidding. He was canceling it. I thought he was...
Just to stop those Zerglings from running in.
I wasn't sure if he was actually going to show it and then do... Because TT1 actually used to do a lot of 2-gate openings back in PvP.
Back in the day, yes.
Yeah, he used to open up Zealot pressure.
Yeah.
It was actually really interesting. So I wasn't sure if he was throwing back to that.
No, definitely not. Cybernetics Core going up on the top ground. I like that. It's a way. It's similar to
I don't like when Protoss expose their Cybernetics Core.
Yeah, it's unnecessary. Because now it's like, I could be chrono boosting this. You have no clue.
It's like, well, now I'm moving my Overlord, and I see your Forge and your Cybernetics being chrono boosted.
Yeah. It's like, should I get Zerglings and Roaches right now?
I think you're going for a timing. Or something like that. We see Stephano just joining up very comfortably. Cloud Kingdom, a map where Roaches are very strong, as well as Zerglings. Just in general, Roach-laying aggression can be very good because you can poke on 2 different fronts very easily. It's a little bit difficult for Protoss to establish that 3rd base unless they have a very nice Immortal Sentry count. And that's generally why we see a quick Robo on this map. You don't generally see Stargate too often, but when you do, it's to clear the Overlord over the ledge, because that ledge... Man, where the Overlord is, can see everything. Look at how much you can see.
It's the biggest map hacker ever. It sees gas count, forge, and gateways.
Yeah, you can see it when
openings.
Yeah. Too.
Oh my
You can even check
goodness.
gas count. Oh wait, you already said that.
I already said that.
That's
the number 1 thing I said, Frodan.
It's the first thing on.
That's the first thing I said.
This Overlord is so strong, it can let you see gas.
Oh my god! And look at this one. You can see 2 gases. Frodan. Zerg is OP. for this reason.
It's so funny, man, because I imagine like if Andre, if anyone went up to Andre and be like, you know, do you think this? It's like, Andre, I'm programming a map hack. What do you think we need to see on it? And you'll be like, just see the gas.
Yep.
That's all it's important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See the gas, and see when it's spent. See gas spent.
Gas spent.
And then it'll tell me everything.
That's like the only thing Andre wants for Heart of the Swarm. Save HOTS. Put a gas production tab. David Kim, are you listening? Please don't actually do that, man. That's just a waste of a tab.
Hey.
I'm
Hey.
serious, man.
Hey.
I'd rather do resources lost in terms of splitting up by minerals and gas. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's cool. TT1 looking like he's going a very early third base, and yes, he is. 8 minutes into the game, he has 4-gate. It kind of looks like 4-gate pressure, but it is not. Stephano doing the right thing. Normally when this happens, Zerglings will go onto the map because Metabolic Boost will finish at the right time. And as you can see, he will be able to do a little bit of damage against this. Now, the pylon positioning for TT1 is a little bit off, so this might actually affect him quite substantially. You'll see this.
Sentries have to be careful. If he just baits the force fields out and speed finishes, he can surround the sentries.
Yeah, don't forget though, Zealots being chrono boosted out is a very sure way to actually clear up any of these Zerglings. Immortal should be pumping out pretty soon here because he has to worry about something like roach pressure, which is inevitable and on the way. There it is.
Oh,
and
the roaches!
Wow!
They are too big. You cannot warp in a gateway there. TT1 has to cancel this next. There's no way for him to hold, and that's huge. Very nice job by Stephano.
Absolutely
and
gigantic.
His job is done.
Absolutely gigantic. Yes, and he can just back up here, get all of his gases, look at that, and get the infestation pit. Where is it? Boom! That's the perfect way to actually follow this up. TT1 needs to spring into action from this. He took way too much of a loss to actually go eco from here. There's no way that he can really approach this particular base efficiently because then he would have to clear it up and then put the Nexus down. There's a lot of openings where you can go something like Mutas.
Yeah, but
Mutas
he didn't make so many
powerful.
probes, though, like, because he was gearing up for an expansion this entire time.
Wow.
62 probes.
2 more than you actually need. You need 30 per base, so that is 2 more. 62 minus 60.
I wonder if TT1 is going to go for it. He
Yeah.
does have 5 more gates coming
Additional gateways. This is definitely going to be an 8-gate pressure.
Yep. Well, TT1 does have the freedom to expand.
Wow.
Sort of. It depends on whether or not he's getting a little bit careless. He's moving his units before he ends up trying to expand. Or TT1 could be doing the exact opposite of trying to make him think that he's going to expand while he's just going to actually push. Usually a Warp Prism would be an indication of whether or not he actually wants to push. Although he is adding a ton of pylons, I think TT1 is going to go for a giant push.
Yeah, he is. But he wants to clear out all these units. This is actually a big liability at this point, and that's why he's actually making this movement around. Because he's saying to himself, well, I need to be careful because my opponent could go ahead and backstab me. But Stephano cleverly just going to go back, defend his 4th base, and get his Infestors at the perfect time. You can see Infestors just about popping out. So he doesn't need to use that counterattacking method. He can go ahead and confront the army saying, I will kill all your sentries and then overwhelm you with a massive amount of units.
Now he's starting to make a bunch of spine crawlers. TT1 trying to get in position. A couple units get picked off for free, and that's not going to be helping TT1's cause. Stalkers do get out of there, and Blink, very nice control thus far from both players. TT1 trying to get into this good position, but sentries are all caught in the fungals. Andre, they're getting very weak as well. More investors are coming in. That is bad news. TT1, his Immortals also out of position from the north. Andre is getting caught. That is not good at all. The Immortals don't really have any use supporting it, and now the Investor Turner can just target it down. GG. Stephano takes game number 2. Great play from start to finish as TT1 is not able to successfully attack.
Denying the 3rd base, making sure that he's teching up to Infestors, which are so important. That is the #1 thing to actually defend against a lot of those Immortal pushes. A lot of times when you have that 3 Immortal plus 1 Warp Prism play, you don't get enough Infestors out in the field to actually do that type of damage. But of course, we did see that because there was about 3-4 minutes more for Stephano to really establish his Infestor control, and then he was able to intercept that so easily.
There's 4 levels of attack, Andre, I feel like, in StarCraft 2. There's like the kind of blow that, like, it's super effective. You get into their net, you get into their hatchery, you kill off larvae, you're killing drones, you win. That's like the biggest level. The second level is kind of like you get to the production line, they barely hold, you manage to trade off a lot, you can kind of expand, remax up, you're basically even. There's another one where you lose at the spine crawlers, right? They fungal you, you lose your entire army. Oh, well, GG, I can't do anything. Stephano stopped him before he got onto creep. He stopped. It's like as TT1 was raising up his arm to punch him, Stephano just grabbed his wrist and said, no.
No.
No. And TT1's like, all right. GG. He even touched his creep. He said, off my lawn. Game number 2 was brought to you by GoToMyPC. Go to nasl.tv/p/GoToMyPC for a limited time special offer on remote access, file transfers, and even remote privacy. Check it out while we take a break and get ready for game number 3 between Stephano and TT1. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a minute.